topic number 3. There's going to be a live-action Robotech movie. Now, hasn't this been talked about for like over a decade? I think at one time, I think
so.
Leonardo DiCaprio was even in the talks to be in it because they had a good story behind it. Yeah, I'm dead serious. Now, obviously, that was never officially greenlit. I'm serious. Leo DiCaprio was... I'm going to look that up so that I can confirm that. Leo DiCaprio,
Old Jack Burton.
Tech.
Or what was his name? Not Burton. Jack Dawson.
Yeah. Oh, it was back in before episode 1. This is back when we were in college. Because Lucas met with Leonardo DiCaprio before he went with Hayden Christensen. And I think it's Leo DiCaprio turned down the role. And at the time, he turned it down and he was going to be... So he could focus his attention on Robotech instead. And was going to be developing it with producers Akiva Goldsman and Tobey Maguire. Now, that never came to fruition, which a lot of movies don't, but that he was really attached to the
Might have been the best thing ever happened to him.
What, Robotech? Maybe, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Now, if they would have pulled out a
Turning down Hayden Christensen's role?
Yeah, no shit. My God. Boy, did he miss a... No shit.
Dodged a bullet.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were talking about him not doing the Robotech movie, but yeah. What do you think about this? I mean, I remember Robotech as a kid. That was cool as hell. But...
I remember it briefly. I had to go back and read the story of what it actually was.
Right.
Because I couldn't even remember what it was based on.
Remember those futuristic jets that would turn into robots, but they were all piloted by a human, and then there was a love story in there too, and it was real.
Yeah, it's
it was all
like
anime.
mechs and all those other things now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a really cool premise. I mean, it's basically Transformers but different. You know,
they're still controlled by people.
Yeah, exactly. But
it's like Pacific Rim.
Kind of, except not giant kaiju size, more like, your plane size.
Well,
but there was, you're right, there was stuff that was really big. There was like aircraft carriers.
Plane-sized ones because we reverse engineered alien technology that crashed on Earth just so we could fight them when they come back.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think that was the storyline.
I was going to say, it's been a long time since I don't remember the main characters. I just remember that the ships can turn into robots. And there was...
I have 2 thoughts that come to mind. Pacific Rim, since I already said it, and Speed Racer, the live-action movie.
Yeah, I mean, but when I think Speed Racer, the only reason I think that is because the helmets just remind me of that anime kind of thing. That's the only reason. Other than that, it's really got no connection to Speed Racer at all, does it?
No, that's about it. Just the look.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but then again, I just watched Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a decent job of pulling it off.
I was really impressed by that movie until the last third where they went full Power Rangers and even threw the theme song in there out of nowhere and it got cheesy and it just didn't... It felt like a different movie. The first 2/3, I was watching it. I mean, I just watched it because I'm like, all right, let's see what this is out of curiosity. And the first 2/3, I'm like, holy shit, this is like a film. Like, this is actually pretty good. It's acted well. The writing's clever. You care about the characters. It was kind of serious when spoilers, what's his name? Billy, when Billy dies and stuff. And then you hear that song, Stand By Me and stuff like that. I'm like, Jesus, this is like actually kind of good. What the fuck is this? And then the last third just gets crazy silly.
Yeah. That's what made it Power Rangers.
Yeah, you're right. And I know that the fans wanted that cheesy and campiness, but I'm like, if you're going to go serious and make it realistic, go all the way. And how do you do that? Because then you're going to piss off your fans. I think that you're in a situation just making a Power Rangers movie that you're...
It's a storyline
that
it's a Power Rangers.
Yeah, you're screwed.
You can't make it real.
Yeah. But when I think about a Robotech movie coming to theaters, because that would be, I mean, the potential is so huge, but again, that solely relies on, please don't make it another Michael Bay spectacle where it's just visual shit, because I know that the people that do like Robotech and talk about it know way better, obviously, than I do, are like have a real fondness and affinity for the characters and the storylines that happen therein, and I'm just saying, this could be like a complete cheesy popcorn Transformers movie. But God, I'm hoping they surprise us with a Christopher Nolan thought-provoking, great character arc, great story in there, and also have it. But we only get one of those every once in a while. They're rare.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Well, who is now? It's studio hired the director from Stephen King's It, Andy Muschietti. Don't know what the hell that means. I mean, I don't know what else he's directed.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah. James Wan was originally attached to direct it, and
For years, I guess.
that would have been cool. James Wan, didn't he do the last Fast and the Furious? I don't remember.
I don't know if he did the last one.
Anyway, blah blah blah. So there's nothing about the story. Don't know who did the screenwriting. I don't know. What do you think? Since we don't know,
it sounds like they've had this script under development, like you said, for over 10 years.
Yeah, but we don't know which script, which iteration, how many times it's been rewritten. Is it even the same thing?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much bullshit that goes on behind the scenes to actually get a movie greenlit and made that we really have no idea. I'm just excited about the premise, and I just feel like now's as good a time as any, as much as we should be realistically skeptical and cautious. The studios know to go after stuff that was really nostalgic, especially around that 80s time period, and treat it with a certain amount of respect. Take what we were just talking about, the Power Rangers. As much as I would have loved them to go just straight Breakfast Club movie all the way start to finish, they knew for the fans, you got to have at least such and such in there. But I'm trying to think of what else recently has come out. I mean, all the Marvel stuff is just based on respecting what came before. But then again, you have the counterbalance of DC.
There's
so
there's a lot of the 80s getting dipped into, maybe not necessarily in movies, but Stranger Things.
Yeah, which
Huge
was just
80s.
Awesome. God, I love that.
So, I mean, there is nostalgia factor there.
Mm-hmm.
The Bumblebee movie is going to be set in the 80s, right?
Yep.
I mean,
and Michael Bay's not directing it. Nah, best news we've heard in a while.
Yeah, I guess until it's actually got a release date, I don't know that it's going to get made.
Mm-hmm.
This might be more chatter.
Yeah, that's true.
Seinfeld talked about this. If you've ever watched comedians in cars getting coffee, he talked about it, and I think it was the episode with Bill Burr. And he says what movie producers love to do is have meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And have good meetings. Or whether it's in movie producers or just producers in general. It's like, oh, we had some really good meetings this week. But that's all it ever is.
Yeah.
Meetings and talk. So it's just that's what I'm kind of thinking about this one. Just because it's been on the back burner for so long.
You're right.
But apparently Sony is serious about it now.
But you're right.
Spider-Man money to blow.
Until production starts, nothing is set in stone. You know what I mean? I've even seen movies that were green lit, which usually is the final, okay, this is definitely frickin' happening. But then for all you know, something happens the last minute.
Shooting schedule.
Something happens. One of the actors has to pull out, whatever it is. Usually green lit is the
more
case.
of them should.
Yeah. But, I mean, let's be honest. We're not going to get a Robotech movie at all unless they actually try and keep at it. And the fact that it seems like we're at least a little bit closer to this becoming a reality, I'm glad. I hope they treat it with a lot of care and respect and put a good story in there. And I know that's easier to say than it is to do. There's only a handful of people that put out really good stuff that's both spectacle awesome and amazing story awesome. And I know it's probably us as much as anybody, if not more. We say all the time, why can't you just have both? Well, it's not easy to just do both. Or else everybody would do it.
We got Dark Crystal coming out, so I don't know if there's going to be any more. Any more of that magic left.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's cross all our fingers, knock on a lot of wood. I'm assuming that at this point you're not ready. We can't say how good this movie is going to be because we have no idea even about the premise or any rumors or anything like that. So speculating is pointless. But what I would say for fun that we could do, since everybody always wants to hear what's your prune juice guarantee rating, what would be your prune juice percentage that this movie actually gets made?
15%.
15? That low? Really?
That low, yeah.
Wow, 15%. Okay.
And if it does get made, it might be a direct-to-video type of thing.
How?
Well, I mean,
there's no way.
They love to put crappy movies out there for at least 2 or 3 weeks to see what they can generate.
Totally agree, but there's no way that they're not going to make a Robotech movie knowing Hollywood unless they're going to put over $100 million into special effects because they want these giant things to transform and stuff like that. And you do not, period, get a movie into the 100 million plus range that goes straight to video ever. They're going to try to milk it in every outlet they can. I think by definition of what this is impossible to go straight to video unless it was an animated feature.
What's the movie opening this week that I have a feeling it's just going to flop?
What's it
it's
about?
Based on a graphic novel. It's like 2 space people, and they have to save a planet or something.
Oh, Elysium, is it? No.
No, that was Matt Damon.
The Journey of 1,000 Worlds.
Starts with a V. Yeah.
Hold on.
Volantis.
Valerian?
Is that from Game of Thrones?
Isn't it Valerian?
Yeah. Valeria.
Hold on. Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. You're right, which is from a graphic novel, and it's from the same guy that did The Fifth Element, which looked wacky as hell, but was fucking awesome.
Yeah, they had good characters in it.
Yeah, it was really unique.
I got a real John Carter smell from this one.
I agree. I have no desire to see this. But, again, I had no desire to see The Fifth Element. I didn't see that until it came home, and that turned out to be a huge win for them. So, but...
The Fifth Element still had Bruce Willis.
Yep, it did. And the story was really good. It was unique and different. It was comic booky and it was out there, but it owned what it was. But so far, all the Valerian reviews are not positive. I had no desire to see it from the first moment I saw the first trailers that came out a long time ago. I have no desire to see it now. Yeah. And, of course... I like to project all the success of movies on whether or not I would like something. So it's not getting my vote, too. But I would not doubt you in that capacity at all. I think that movie's going to bomb.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll see how much money Sony has left after they make a Venom movie and all those other things to see how ready they are to make a big commitment Robotech movie.
Well, it's funny because the majority of Sony's profits all comes from PlayStation, which is basically carrying the torch for Sony Pictures, Sony everything else too. So as long as they keep selling like they're
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they raped the money from that too. So I think that they're going to be doing fine for a little bit here too. But for those of you watching, let us know what you think about this Robotech movie. Are you excited for it? What would you like to see? Tell Matt why he's wrong, and there's more of a 15% chance that it's going to happen. Because I'm out.